Hey everyone, Kyle here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how to do cold calling for your social media marketing agency or your other B2B business. If you're looking to sell your service or product, exactly how you can do cold calling for lead generation and appointment setting. So before we get into this, if you're an investor looking to make another source of passive income, my company White Tree Capital does exactly that. Go to whitetreecapital.com, fill out the form, and speak with me. So let's talk about how to do cold calling for B2B lead gen. So there are two different strategies you could use. There are strategies that are completely free that cost $0. I don't recommend this strategy that much, but if you have absolutely no money, then this is definitely an option. And then there is an option where you have a little bit of capital, and I think this is ultimately the better option. But if you have to start off with this zero, get a customer, and then invest, then that is exactly what you could do. So let's talk about zero strategy and then the paid strategy. So let's talk about the $0 strategy. This is going to be going to Yelp and Google Maps to find local businesses, to call up those businesses. And what I did was I brought up all the different business niches, and I'll tell you which niches will work good for using this strategy. Only certain niches are going to work, and I'll tell you which ones will. So agriculture, this could potentially work. It'll be a little bit challenging because there aren't that many people that are doing farming, especially if you're in a city, but agriculture could potentially work. Business services could work. So this is going to be things like maybe printing companies, digital marketing agencies, web development, stuff like this. So I'm just going to put check for this, check for this. Construction can definitely be a good niche to go in. And what's important with all these niches and all these businesses is make sure if you're doing the $0 strategy, you're selling to companies with less than 10 employees. If you're going to do this to bigger businesses, it's essentially going to be a waste of time. So consumer services would also work. Education, I would say no to this. Energy, utility, and waste, again, these are too big of businesses. Financial services, if less than 10 employees, could work. Government, I do not think this would work at all. Healthcare could work, again, less than 10 employees. Holding companies and conglomerates, just because this is a bigger company, I would say no. Hospitality, so bigger hotels and stuff like that, I would say no. It would have to be less than 10 employees, and that's essentially what you should get from this. Is if you're doing this $0 strategy, you're going to have to sell to smaller companies. Hospitals and physician clinics, again, smaller companies, so could work. Insurance could work, smaller. Legal is definitely going to be pretty tough just because the gatekeepers are pretty well trained in legal, so just know that. Manufacturing could definitely work. Media and internet, I don't think this is the best strategy just because they don't pick up their phones that much for these media companies and they're always doing other things, so I would say no to that. Minerals and mining, I would say no just because it's bigger companies. Organizations, no. Bigger companies. Real estate, again, less than 10 employees. Retail is going to be very challenging to find these companies and finding smaller companies locally. So I would say no to retail. Software, it's going to be super hard to get people on the phone with this strategy, so I would say no to this. Telecommunications, also bigger companies. And transportation, I would have to say less than 10 employees. So now that we kind of talked about niches, let's talk about the strategy you want to use. So the first thing is you want to choose a niche. So we just talked about this. Choose a niche. Second is use Google Maps and Yelp to find local business. So this is exactly what you could do. So as you could see, I have Yelp pulled up right over here. And what we want to do is we could just search landscape near me, Salt Lake City. This would be construction. And as you could see, we have quite a few different, so sponsored results are going to be pretty good. As you could see, Elite Hardscapes, Joe Landscaping, this company, Simple Monkey Sprinklers. But what you want to do, just go to each of these businesses, look for their number, and this is the exact strategy you're going to use. So like I said, use Google Maps and Yelp to find their location. First thing you're going to do is call the number on listing. Step 4 is you're going to call that company, and then you're going to ask to speak to the person that handles X. And X is what you're trying to be selling to. So if you're selling marketing services, if you're selling website, if you're selling graphic design, all you literally want to do is just call up this number and just say, could I speak to the person who handles marketing? Could I speak to the person who handles sales? Could I speak to the person who handles this? A lot of times you're not going to get through to that person. You're just going to have to accept that you're going to have to make a lot more calls to get to that person. So that is step 1. And then once you get to that person, step 5, you just want to follow this 3-step framework. So you want to do a quick intro, and it could just be something simple like, hey, how are you? They'll usually say something like, good, who is this? And then you could go into your value prop and ask for a meeting. So when you're trying to sell something, always the first step is to get a meeting. So they put you on to the person who handles marketing. You could just go, hey, how are you? The person responds, good. Who is this? You could say, good. My name is Kyle. I'm with a local marketing company in Salt Lake City. I'd love to give you a free strategy to help you generate more leads, generate more customers. Would you be open to a meeting either later this week or sometime next week? And if you do this, at least I would say when you're speaking to the decision maker and you're giving them a good value prop and you're asking for a meeting, 1 in 10 to 20 should set a meeting. So really, you want to think about speaking with decision maker. And what's important with this is you want to give them a good reason to meet with you. You're going to help them generate something, and you're going to give them something for free. A free strategy usually works pretty good. So this is exactly what you could do with it $0. So again, choose your niche. I walk through this. Use Google Maps and Yelp to find local businesses. Call numbers on the listing. Ask to speak to the person that handles X. Usually only 1 in 10 people will even let you through, but since you're not spending any money, all you have is your sweat equity. This is what you have to do. Then you go into your quick intro value prop and ask for a meeting, and then 1 in 10 to 20 should set a meeting to speak with you. So this is the $0 strategy. Now let's talk about the paid strategy. So this is going to be pretty similar, but instead of finding people on these, you're going to get direct dial numbers to call. And in 2023, 2 of the ones that I know work pretty well are going to be Seamless.ai and ZoomInfo. ZoomInfo is going to be a little bit more expensive, but definitely has really good data. A lot of the bigger companies use this. Seamless is going to be a little bit cheaper, but has probably better value. So go ahead and choose which one you want to do, and I'll show you exactly how I search for these. So as you can see in Seamless, they have a contact search. So let's go ahead and search for people. So we're going to do C-level, department we'll leave blank. We'll do CEO, founder, president, owner, industry. Let's do construction for this because that's what we're talking about. So we'll do construction, technology, companies or website, location. Let's do Utah. So that is local to me. And as you could see, we could search and it pulls us up contacts. So what we could do in Seamless, which is pretty similar to ZoomInfo, all we have to do is click find that information. And for this one, they give us a direct dial number. Again, direct dial number, go ahead, click find. And this is exactly all you have to do to find direct dial numbers to call. You want to use their search feature and find the proper contact information. And then all you want to do with this is if they pick up, do the same strategy of quick intro, value prop, and call to action for a meeting. So again, let's just walk through this. So we have, let's just say Alan's number, for example. We'd call his direct dial number. This is usually going to be his cell phone number. So all you're going to say is, once he picks up, hey Alan, how are you? You're going to wait for him to respond. He's going to say something, and then you're going to go, good. My name is Kyle. I run a local digital marketing company. I'd love to generate more leads for your company and give you a free strategy. Would you be open to a Zoom meeting either sometime later this week or next week? And that is all you have to do to start setting meetings with this. I think this is a better strategy. And what this should look like is around, again, instead of talking to the decision maker, it's going to be 1 in 10 to 20 conversations turn into meetings. So this is all you have to think about and all you really have to do to generate leads for B2B cold calling. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and subscribe for more content just like this.